Hi, I'm Jeff Meegan,
And I'm David Tobin.
and we are Meegan and Tobin.
And we write music for film and TV.
Today's podcast is just really who we are and what we do.
And I think we're really going to be focusing over some time on trying to demystify a little bit of our jobs because we've been told we're a well-kept secret, which is
yes.
great, really.
Yes, an insult and a compliment at the same time. So,
Oh, you want to go?
what do you do? Tell us about yourself, David Tobin.
Okay, well, since I was old enough to walk, I've been a musician of one form or another.
Mm-hmm.
I was classically trained as a child, and most of my childhood I was playing a piano or playing the oboe or playing another instrument, a recorder or whatever, singing and writing since I was a kid, and eventually decided I was going to take that seriously. In fact, I pretty much knew that as a kid.
How old were you?
I mean, I was playing from the age of 3, 4.
Wow.
I was playing very, very young.
Wow.
And then I remember they used to have a careers advisor at school.
At 4 years old?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was an advanced school. But no, I mean, when I was probably about 11, they'd start saying, what do you want to do? And they never even asked me.
Mm-hmm.
They just, oh, you're the musician.
He's the music kid. Yeah.
And it was never a thing until I went to college to study music.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there as a recorder player, which is pretty niche.
I'm not going to make any
recorder
jokes or
players out there,
comments.
but it's pretty niche.
Yeah.
And I realized pretty quickly that the work world for that was going to be fairly limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already writing and said I wanted to be a film scorer. And I was songwriting.
So were you writing on piano? Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I told the college principal, I'm going to write music for films and TV and songwrite, he said, oh, we don't do that.
Mm.
So I popped off to Berkeley in Boston. From there began a journey of learning to do that. But I think we need to hear less about me and more about you right now. Tell us about early Meegan years.
Well, mine is much the same. I was a recorder player from a very young age.
Yeah, right. I've heard you play through the nose, but I've heard you play,
Both my parents were musicians. I, was in love with the drums when I was a kid. They used to play in a wedding band, and I was always sitting behind the drummer and wanted to be a drummer. So, of course, they gave me piano lessons, did all this stuff, which I never played, never practiced. So I stopped taking piano lessons, took drum lessons, and it was just always part of my life. Yeah. Started writing music when I was 14 in high school. Started writing songs just out of nowhere. I sat down and started playing some chords and singing, and it was like, whoa, what is this? And then just continued to do so. I got my first 4-track recorder when I was like 16, and the Tascam cassette one.
Sorry, you had a Tascam 4-track at 16?
Yes.
See, I didn't get that until I had the same
Did you really?
Tascam 4-track.
244 or something like that.
Yeah, but I was older. I
Oh,
was not as advanced as you, sadly. But.
my mother was very supportive.
Right.
And so it just kind of blossomed from there. Kept going. I started collaborating with people when I was in my early 20s. And then, just kept on going. And now write for film and television and all kinds of stuff.
So maybe we should talk about how we met. And I'll kick it off because actually I think it was that way around. I was taking a class, an online class, with Berkeley online.
Right.
And the class was run, should I mention a name?
Absolutely.
So I was taking a class with Brad Hatfield.
A longtime collaborator of mine.
Yes. He had a job that he couldn't do and suggested with a little nudge that maybe it's something I could do. So I took that on, and it was very short notice, and it was quite niche, 20s and 30s TV thing. I think it was a pitch for Boardwalk Empire. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the long and the short was I said, I need a singer, and I need somebody pretty quickly. And they said, we have somebody you should talk to, and his name's Jeff Meegan. So they put me in touch with you, and you sang, and I didn't use it.
You didn't use it.
I didn't.
I did the demo, and he didn't use it. Anyway.
It wasn't very good. No, actually, it was great, but it wasn't stylistically.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite what I was looking for out of that. I'd got an idea what I wanted. But we hit it off so well. And at the end of that gig, the woman who ran the company,
What's her name? Cindy at Heavy Hitters Music in LA. Yeah.
And she said, next, I'd like you to make a big band album. But the first thing I did was self-funded, and it cost everything I'd got and more, and borrowed and stole to, get there. And I said, I can't afford to pay for a big band. And she said, well, we'll pay for it, but why not collaborate with one of our writers? You might know him, you've spoken to him, his name's Jeff Meegan. And that, I think, was the first time I heard about you as a writer rather than as a singer.
Gotcha.
So what about from your
Well, yeah, so
perspective?
I had been writing for Heavy Hitters Music for years, getting music placed on soap operas and all that stuff. So, and I had a relationship with Brad. We had written a bunch of music together. So that was sort of our through our connection was Heavy Hitters and Brad. And so, yeah, once I did the demo for you, which was fun, and then Cindy called me up and she said, I know you met David, and we were thinking about doing this big band thing. Would you be interested in writing doing this album with David? And I was like, yeah, of course, that would be fun. And the first song we did was something called, well, you tell this story because I don't know.
Well, I remember, we should say, we're going to talk later in this series, I think, more in depth about collaboration and types of collaboration and our collaboration and other people. But I think you had a much longer history of collaboration than I did.
Collaborated for a long time. Yeah.
And I'd collaborated with other people. I'd collaborated with a great friend of mine, Gil Linton. We'd written musical twice about Houdini. But I'd never collaborated with another musician, songwriter like that. I was terrified. I was absolutely, what if I'm shit? Excuse my language, but what if this just, what if I get laughed at?
It's stressful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Did no idea. So you sent me a vocal. I don't think there was anything under the vocal. I think it was just the vocal.
Drums, maybe?
It might have been. I think it was just a top line.
Oh, okay.
I think. I've still got it somewhere. On a song called I Want It All. And I listened to it and I was mesmerized. I'm like, this is fantastic. And then I suddenly panicked and thought, what am I going to do with this? Because I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me, this is a big band thing, and I've never written big band music. And I just had that panic. And I think I then thought, we're going to have to get somebody else involved in this.
Right.
And then I panicked and had a whole life and death conversation with my wife and said, he's going to think day one you don't know what you're doing and you've got to bring somebody else in.
And we're going to work together?
Yeah, what are you doing? And
no way.
So so we had this long, and I think I fessed up pretty quickly.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have never done that, but I recorded a full thing underneath it, and I remember just having a blast. But I also remember, because of the time difference between us, writing something, hitting send in my really badly equipped internet system, because in the middle of
this was
England.
So everyone has a little gauge here. This is 15 years ago we've been writing together, so this is
maybe something like that. Yeah, no, it would be.
Now,
would be. This would have been 2010. Yeah, and I remember sending this, pressing go, but you would have been asleep, and then going through all manner of turmoil of, I'm going to get a call saying, sorry, are you serious? Where's the real stuff?
Well, it's funny because I do remember getting it back now that we've been talking about this and that we were going to tell this story. And I remember listening to it and being like, yeah, man, this is great, because there was piano fleshed out on it, and you did that intro. And it's always so cool to send something out to someone and then it comes back and it's like completely different and new. Not completely different, but it's just better, So it was exciting. So that conversation about bringing in someone else, because we do a lot of different, we specializing in nothing. How does that sound? We do a lot of different genres of music, and we bring in people who are experts. In this case, it was a big band orchestrator that we brought in. And I remember thinking, well, yeah, It was a bit of a surprise, but it wasn't like, well, that's it. I'm not going to do this. It's like, well, yeah, let's bring in whoever we got to bring in. Let's get this done.
I was just so green that I didn't know. I'd not been in the world of you do this with other people. I'd only ever really written by myself.
Yeah.
And the idea that you would go from 2 to 3 like overnight with something, I just had no idea. But also the idea of being a specialist. I mean, we've talked about what we're going to talk about and argued fairly robustly about the idea of what you call somebody who does multiple genres. Because we're going to come on to this in a minute, but I mean, there's eclectic and then there's us with styles. And yeah, but big band being the first thing, I'm really glad that's what it was, because obviously to get to know each other, we talked about, your musical loves and passions. And I mean, I remember us talking about all manner of musical artists, and there was a sort of Venn diagram of who we enjoyed listening to, and they were pretty similar, actually.
We'd never recorded a big band before. I'd never recorded a big band before. Both of us never having experienced this before, with 20 guys or however many people were in the big band in a studio in Chicago. And that was just...
Hinge Studios.
The Hinge Studios. And that was just freaking stressful, man. That was just...
I remember that.
Crap. Wow.
I was absolutely terrified.
Baptism of fire. It was.
And I'd never conducted a big band. And I was stood there thinking, I just hope they don't laugh at me. I mean, they're going to look at me and go, okay, what are you doing?
So it was quite the learning experience.
But we worked with that band several times.
Yeah, after that, yeah.
But we recorded, I think, 3 tunes that day. And that sounded like a lot to do in 3 hours.
And it was, yeah.
For that day, yeah.
It absolutely was.
I go to your profile, and I'll go to Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal, lots of great providers out there. And I see, like, you're listed as an artist, and you are an artist because you're a singer, but I see you listed as an artist for what you write that you don't sing. But there's just so much stuff there, so many different things. Why? Why is that all there listed like that?
In our collaboration, we do lots of different styles of music. There's folk, there's pop, there's jazz, there's country, there's all kinds of stuff. And it all gets released onto the streamer so that people can hear it. And we do these projects for a production music company that then releases them. So we write music for sync.
I'm going to stop you there and just say, for anybody that doesn't know what that is, it's music written like an intermediary company that then helps put that on the TV.
Sells music to...
We're going to go way into that stuff, so sorry.
So anyway, so we do all these projects for a company like that, and then they release it onto the streamers. So we are the producers and the composers. Sometimes we're the artists. But it's more like, if you go to our profiles, you have to think of it more like a David Foster or a Quincy Jones. Like, these are the people who put the music together, and they themselves become the artists because that's what they do. They make music.
But the thing in common with all of it is that we've written it.
That we've written it all, yes.
Yeah.
Or arranged it all. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
There are things where we've become known for being the arrangers of pieces of pre-existing music.
Right.
And but it's our creation.
Yes. I mean, we have a lot of people who go to listen to our music every month, right? I mean, thousands and thousands of people streaming our music. And I always think to myself, what are these people must be so confused? Because if you did, like, this is Jeff Meegan or this is David Tobin, you might get, Beethoven's Fifth to, something
Country
that sounds like
pop album.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all over the board. And I always thought, wow, this is really got to be confusing for people.
But actually, that's why we had this discussion about being sort of what I like to use the term cross-genre specialists.
Okay.
Because then we'll work in a genre, but we're not paying lip service to it. We're studying it, we're figuring it out, we're bringing in other specialists to work with us, which is the other reason why we do that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because it's somebody that works in that style, and they'll help us hone something.
Absolutely. So yes, we've done a whole classical favorites collection where we work with, we go into Abbey Road with a whole symphony orchestra and work with some of the world's best musicians. And we have a gentleman, Julian Gallant, that we do all that stuff with. We've done big band albums and bring in big band arrangers. We've done pop music with pop producers. I mean, whatever we need to do, whoever we need to work with to get the job done.
Yeah, it's about servicing that song, that individual, and not even the same person on the whole album, maybe.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Just one piece at a time, who's the right person
Mm-hmm.
to do that. And we're going to talk in future episodes of this, we're going to talk about, as I said, collaborations and the type of people we collaborate with and some of the funny stories that have gone along with that.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty good.
I think we've kind of told people what we do. Yeah. I hope you have an understanding, if you're watching this, about what Meegan and Tobin do, and I hope you stick around for maybe some more conversations.
Yeah. Until the next time.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks to Audio Network and Heavy Hitters for letting us use the music you can hear in this episode. All of the music was either written, produced, or performed by Jeff Meegan and David Tobin.